Hey guys, Lord here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series Raptor with his little birdie, Talon. At least, I think that's his name. That said, this of course brought to us by the fine folks over at Hasbro, as well as the lovely Aunt Tammy. If you're new to the channel, my aunt is awesome. Spoiler alert. But she's gotten me many things before, from Spawn figures to Power Rangers Lightning Collection figures to other various types of figures and things. Some things not figures, some things more figures. But she is awesome. She was nice enough to pick me up. Good old Raptor here for my birthday, which was not too long ago, almost 2 weeks ago now. So yes, your boy has been on this earth for 2,800 years. It's been a bit of a rough one, to say the very least, but I'm still here. So the show must go on. So that being said, before we get too far ahead of ourselves with stupid jokes, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Raptor has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with his little knife, his little pistol, which you can actually store on his person. This knife can go into that little belt there. In case I lifted it up too high, there you go. Then his little pistol can go here. Does not have a port for blast effects like scrap irons from earlier, but it gets the job done, I think. There you go. There is that. Do wish this belt with the pistol in it was glued or something, but either way, it does sit fine around his waist there. That said, on top of his pistol and knife, we do get these little Wolverine-esque claw gauntlet thingies. More like glaives, really, because he holds them in his hands. Holds them at a bit of an angle, too. Not the biggest fan of that, but, you know, they're cool still. I will display him proudly with these, because I'm sure if I put them in storage, they get all bent to crap. And then he does have a little hat. Put his little hat on his head. Now he kind of looks like a furry. Yeah, I'm sure my aunt was like, what the Sam Hill does he want this thing for? Listen, I don't know why certain G.I. Joes look the way they do. I mean, you got the weird animal parade goofballs like Talon here, or Raptor here. And we got Crocmaster a few years ago. He's got like the crocodile skin, like body armor, almost like a onesie even. And then I'm sure there are others that are just as wackadoodle as good old Raptor here. But then you also have characters like Scrap Iron, who, like Firefly, are all burnt to hell like Freddy Krueger. And I mentioned earlier, there's a reason I didn't send my aunt that one, because, well, she don't like Freddy Krueger at all. Literally. Freddy Krueger and spiders. My aunt don't like them. So I try not to send her links on Amazon with figures that may resemble those things. That said, of course, Raptor does come with this little birdie. Why do you fly upside down? Because you're freaky stupid. But either way, you can perch this guy on his arm. Sorta. I mean, I guess there's a peg hole for his foot somewhere on here, but I'm not really seeing it. So, yep, he's kind of, I guess, sits there. But not really. Personally, I would have liked a peg hole up here on his shoulder pad for this to plug into. That way you could have him rest on his shoulder like that, but oh well, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. So why don't we put him aside? He also has this little gizmo on his head, because he's wired to hunt, because, of course, like certain Cobra characters, This guy is an ex-poacher. Funny how Nagahide was the same way. Either way, as far as Raptor's articulation is concerned, his head will look side to side, up and down. Shoulders will pop out to the side about yay far. He does have butterfly, but holy Kawasaki Ninja's Batman. That is a tight butterfly if I ever saw one. Shoulders will rotate up and down. He's got a bicep swivel. Double elbow. Pretty good crunch out of those. He does have a gauntlets twist here. So I have reason to believe that this is the Storm Shadow buck in some capacity. At least the arms. Probably not almost anything else. But one thing to note, he does have like swivel hinge wrists with the appropriate hinge for holding stuff. But these hands, holy shite, they were tough to get to work. And I mean really tough. I heated these and worked them loose for a good several minutes. They work fine now. They move up and down. But, yeah, man, that is easily one of the toughest joints I've had to work loose on a figure. Easily. But, I got them to work. There's no stress. And I didn't break nothing. Other than maybe my fingers. So, not looking too forward to that arthritis anytime soon. But he's got an ab crunch. Goes that far forward. That far back. He's got a ball jointed waist there. Doesn't get a ton of range forward and back, but it's fine. Hips are on the dreaded drop down joints that I'm not a fan of, but they're not loose on this guy. They just kind of click into place, and that's cool. His hips will kick forward, kick back, kick his own butt. He's got a thigh cut there. He's got a double jointed knee. That works fine. He's got a boot swivel. Then for the feet, he does have a hinge, which is a little tight. Not nearly as tight as the wrist, though. But they will move forward and back. He's got a rocker, and he's got peg holes at the bottom of the feet there. I will say, this knee on mine is a little loose, but I think over time, that might actually stiffen up. And this knee joint isn't as tight as this one. But either way, it's nothing too bad. It's not too bad. I mean, he does stand up at least. But I gotta tell you guys, what's the deal with this character? Is he a hot commodity or something? Because my poor Aunt Tammy had a heck of a time catching this guy in stock on ye old Amazon. I don't understand it. I don't think I'll ever understand it. He is a stupid looking character compared to some of the G.I. Joe figures I've reviewed on this channel. But I like him a lot. And all of his stupid wackadoodle weirdness. He is fun, and at the end of the day, that's what toys are about, having fun. Now, before we wrap this sucker up, and bring in our two regulars, we gotta talk about his wings here. Because, of course, Raptor comes with wings. Very MCU Vulture-looking wings, but they are very well-articulated wings. They got two hinge joints, here and here, and two swivel joints, here and here in the base. So you can really pose this guy up with these wings, get him set up on a flight stand, and you're off to the races as far as I'm concerned. I like these wings a lot. It's got some nice turbines on the back. They don't appear to be reused from anything, I don't believe. I know some people thought maybe MCU Falcon or MCU Vulture, but no, these are unique wings to him. They're a lot smaller than the MCU Vulture's wings, so he feels a lot more compact. He's not as clunky, which I like personally. I don't like stuff that takes up a ton of real estate, even though I'm going to say that I pre-ordered something with wings that is quite substantial in size about a month ago now. Those of you who follow Toy News might know what that is, but for those of you who don't, I guess stay tuned for future video where I might drop some hints and tidbits and nuggets of info on that. But that said, let's give him his little hat here. I like the little hat. I think he looks cool with that. But that is Raptor in a nutshell. Cool figure. A couple of QC issues, small QC issues, but nothing I can't handle, nothing I couldn't fix. But hey, I got a YouTube channel. I wouldn't be using it right if I didn't point this stuff out, right? So, before I wrap this sucker up with some final thoughts, why don't we bring in our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith, who may or may not have something to do with that big thing I pre-ordered, as well as the infamous Car-11 Spawn, who, as usual, towers over everyone because he is not a 6-inch figure. He is barely fitting in screen because Raptor is pushing him out with his wings there. So, with that being said, it is time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from the hands being totally stuck, before I heated them anyways, on mine and the knees being a little wonky, not terrible, but a little bit, I have to say I thoroughly enjoy good old Raptor here, although I wish he did have a better place for his little birdie Talon to perch, particularly on the shoulder. I think that would look a little bit cooler. But other than that, I think these wings are pretty rad. I think the claws are pretty rad, although he holds them at a bit of a weird angle, so there is that. And of course, in true G.I. Joe classified fashion, you could store his pistol and his knife on his person so you don't lose them. Other than coming with a flight stand, which I've had to provide myself, he is the complete package, if you ask me. So, yeah, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.